Coming up on The Cut.
Romania becomes the second NATO country to report Russian drones in its airspace.
A NASA rover on Mars finds potential signs of ancient life.
Students who witnessed Charlie Kirk's death last Wednesday reckon with their trauma.
And a man faces animal cruelty charges after dozens of animals were rescued from his northwestern Arizona home.
All this and more coming up on The Cut.
The Cut starts now.
Welcome to the Cut Network. I'm Ryan Moffett.
And I'm Sydney Voorhees.
Russia finds itself under the microscope after a second drone was spotted in a NATO country. The Russian drone was spotted by Romanian fighter pilots while patrolling their country's border. While the drone didn't fly over populated areas or pose a threat, the foreign policy chief for the European Union, Kaja Kallas, claimed the student was, quote, yet another unacceptable breach of an EU state sovereignty. This comes after Poland claimed to have shot down at least 3 drones that had entered its airspace on Wednesday. President Donald Trump touched on the subject and was willing to impose tougher sanctions on Russia if NATO countries met certain conditions, such as refusing to buy Russian oil. No sanctions have been put into effect as the conflict between Russia and Ukraine continues on.
NASA rover Perseverance uncovered rocks in a dry river channel on Mars with strong signs of potential ancient Martian life. The sample consisted of organic carbon and specks of iron phosphate and iron sulfide. This was a significant breakthrough for NASA because on Earth, these compounds are the byproduct of microorganisms breaking down organic matter. NASA's Science Mission Chief Nikki Fox said it's, quote, the closest we've actually come to discovering ancient life on Mars. In-depth analysis, ideally in a lab on Earth, is necessary to come to a solid conclusion, but researchers are excited to learn from whatever the result may be. Lead researcher Joel Hurwitz said, quote, it would be amazing to be able to demonstrate conclusively that these features were formed by something that was alive on another planet billions of years ago. But even if that's not the case, it's a, quote, valuable lesson in all of the ways that nature can conspire to fool us.
From the desert on Mars to our very own Sonoran Desert, Cut reporter Nicole Alejandro reports up and coming land developments.
Thank you, Ryan. The Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, or TSMC, plans to bid on a large piece of land to expand further in North Phoenix, the Arizona Republic reported on Friday. Almost 4 years after TSMC started construction on the first plant in Arizona, the company announced an expansion, which includes 3 new chip fabrication facilities. TSMC recently became an applicant for a rezoning project in Phoenix. The company seeks to expand its facilities on a parcel of land south of Loop 303, which is right across from the freeway from its complex in North Phoenix. The 6,355-acre site, also known as North Park, would include 6, quote, master plan development parcels, one of which is called an innovation corridor. The land is owned by the Arizona State Land Department and must be sold at auction after a due diligence process. Spokesperson for the Arizona State Land Department, Lynn Cordova, says the site is in the, quote, early stages of auction, and an auction date has not been set yet. However, the process may take about 9 months to a year to be completed. With the expansion, TSMC's investment has increased to $165 billion. Additionally, the company would have a total of 6 chip fabrication facilities, 2 advanced packaging facilities, and a research and development center. For the Cut Network, I'm Nicole Alejandro.
Thank you, Nicole. We'll keep you updated on the construction in the area. Political activist Charlie Kirk was assassinated while at a public event on the campus of Utah Valley University last week. While the suspect Tyler James Robinson is in custody, there is still an uneasiness among the community. Students who attended the event are still processing what they witnessed during the event. A memorial site for Kirk gives students an opportunity to comfort each other and pay their respects. Many students have already expressed how the trauma from the assassination has impacted their lives. A student who was just 10 feet away from Kirk during the event, Alexis Narciso, claims to get flashbacks when he hears honking or loud bangs. The school will have a larger security presence when classes resume this Wednesday as they attempt to make students feel safe after the tragic events.
Monday night, ASU held a vigil for political activist Charlie Kirk. Cut reporter Bentley Yankee has the details. Bentley?
Thank you, Sydney. A vigil memorial service was held on September 15th, hosted by Arizona State University at Desert Financial Arena to honor Charlie Kirk. Students, community members, and supporters gathered to pay tribute to Kirk's life and legacy. The memorial included prayers, personal stories, and reflections on his impact, both locally and nationally. Many attendees described the event as a chance to come together and remember his influence on campus, in Arizona, and beyond. Photos, flowers, and messages were placed in his memory, creating a space for people to reflect and grieve. While the community continues to heal, the vigil served as a reminder of how one life can inspire and bring people together. Kirk resided here in Arizona with his wife and 2 children. His official memorial service will be held Sunday, September 21st in the morning at State Farm Stadium in Glendale. For the Cut Network, I'm Bentley Yank.
Thank you, Bentley. Our hearts go out to those impacted by gun violence. Over in Dolan Springs, Arizona, dozens of animals, including dogs, cats, and turtles, were rescued from a man's home. The police responded to a report of a large pack of dogs chasing after neighbors' livestock and cars, only for the cop car to be surrounded by 7 large dogs. On the property, Mojave County Animal Control found enclosures containing multiple small, malnourished dogs with matted fur. Their cages were littered with feces, moldy food, and green water. 3 turtles were found floating in a barrel of black, slimy water. The animals were transported to the Humane Society for immediate medical attention. But it didn't stop there. Detectives and animal control officers also entered an RV on the property and found 3 cats, 2 large dogs, and 3 puppies that had no food and only green-tinted water. As officials were handling the situation, the property owner Jorge Gonzalez Reyes came home. He told police that he stays on the property occasionally. He was also issued a rap sheet of citations of animal cruelty and more. The rescued animals are now being rehabilitated and many are currently up for adoption.
Arizona State women's volleyball competed against University of Texas this past Sunday. Cut reporter Abby Cervenak gives us the rundown.
Thank you, Ryan. The number 9 ranked Arizona State girls volleyball team was swept by the number 2 team in the nation, University of Texas, in Austin this past weekend. The Longhorns were led by the fierce NCAA Freshman Player of the Week, Kari Spears, in this major victory. This Sunday's win brought Texas their 5th ranked win of the year, and the Devils' 4-match win streak was broken. Newcomer Kari Spears stood out in Sunday's game with a total of 18 kills in all 3 sets, showing why she was last year's top recruit. In the second set, tension increased as ASU almost scored 2 set points to tie it up, but Texas was able to fight the Devils off 30-28. Texas continued their built-up momentum throughout the 3rd final set, securing their victory with a 25-15 final score. Texas's strong, unstoppable momentum throughout each set made it difficult for the Devils to find a way to gain any traction during the game. Although ASU fought with determination and fearlessness, in the end, the Longhorns landed on top with 3-0. With this game, Texas once again proved why they are one of the best teams in the NCAA and potential title contenders. For the Cut Network, I'm Abby Cervenak.
Thank you, Abby. Now, Cut Sports anchor Josh Melby dives deeper into what went down this sports weekend. Josh?
Thanks, Ryan, and welcome to Sports on the Cut Network. I'm Josh Melby, and to tip off the sports segment, let's jump right into the 2025 WNBA playoffs. With the playoffs underway as of Sunday, September 14th, the Minnesota Lynx are currently the favorites to win this season's WNBA Finals. Minnesota locked up the 1 seed heading into the playoffs, finishing the regular season with a 34-10 record. They are led by MVP frontrunner Nafisa Collier, along with key role players such as the best mid-range shooter in the league in Courtney Williams and fellow All-Star Kayla McBride. The Lynx started off their postseason campaign by taking down the Golden State Valkyries in Game 1 with a final score of 101-72. But the 2 seed Las Vegas Aces will give Minnesota a run for their money this postseason as they took down the Seattle Storm in Game 1 with a final score of 102-77. This playoff victory for the Aces marked their 17th straight win, which ties the 2nd most consecutive wins in WNBA history with the 2014 Phoenix Mercury. The league record, you may ask? That would belong to the 2001 Los Angeles Sparks, who won 18 straight, meaning the record is very much in play for the Aces. Outside of the 1 versus 8 matchup and the 2 versus 7 matchup, the Atlanta Dream have the 1-0 series advantage over the Indiana Fever, and the New York Liberty went up 1-0 to the Phoenix Mercury after an overtime thriller. However, New York's victory did not come without a cost. With 3 minutes remaining in overtime, the 3-time WNBA champion and 2-time MVP Breanna Stewart went up for a layup and grabbed at her left knee as she landed on the court. Stewart underwent an MRI on Monday to further examine the injury. On the topic of injuries, let's switch sports over to the NFL. Week 2 of the 2025 season was an unforgiving week for quarterbacks around the league. New York Jets quarterback Justin Fields suffered a concussion after a takedown from Joey Bosa, slamming the back of his helmet into the turf. Fields is now in concussion protocol and awaiting to see if he can be cleared to return for Week 3. On top of that, Minnesota Vikings quarterback J.J. McCarthy is out for 2 to 4 weeks with an ankle injury. McCarthy seemingly rolled his right ankle in the third quarter of his Week 2 matchup against the Atlanta Falcons, yet finished out the game with no issue. McCarthy reported heavy soreness to the team the next morning, and they further evaluated the injury, which revealed a high ankle sprain. Lastly, Cincinnati Bengals star quarterback Joe Burrow suffered a turf toe injury on Sunday and will be undergoing toe surgery. Now, turf toe is a sprain of the big toe joint caused by hyperextension, which can sideline athletes for months. For the third time of his 6-year career, Burrow will have to miss a stretch of games due to injury. In this particular case, he will be out for at least 3 months. That will wrap it up for Sports on the Cut. I've been Josh Melby.
Kids never say your mom is lame. I learned the hard way. Mother Gabrielle Wall from New Zealand broke a unique world record running across a track made of Legos barefoot. The video of Wall's record went viral, reaching 9.3 million views. One commenter joked, "No secret coaching, just years of midnight bathroom trips dodging Lego landmines left by her kids." After a health scare in 2022, running 100 meters barefoot on Legos was at the top of her bucket list. Wall told Guinness World Records, I am proud to have pushed myself to new limits." I mean, good for her. Sydney, I got to ask you, do you have any bucket list items that are as crazy as this?
No, but I want to see the Northern Lights.
All right, so we were just completely motivated by this mother who just ran 100 meters on Legos, and you're trying to go sightseeing. You don't want to do anything crazy?
Well, what do you have? What do you want to do?
I mean, I would really like to, this is crazy, but spend a day in a kangaroo's pouch. I think that would just be super fun. And if a kangaroo doesn't like it, I'll do it 2 hours. I think that's fine.
Well, then I'll have the show to myself.
All right, we'll bring the kangaroo here. I mean, you'll have to catch it on the cut maybe next week. 2 weeks from now, we'll get the kangaroo. I mean, you're going to have to follow the Cut's Instagram if you want to see that. The Cut_network. Go follow it. I mean, Sydney, tell them. They got to go follow that Instagram.
You got to go see when we have this kangaroo. How else are you going to know?
You'll just have to wait and see. I'm Ryan Moffitt. My partner right here, Sydney Voorhees. Thank you for tuning in. This has been The Cut.